to stand it from there. He will eventually be taken to the federal detention center. Let's go now to John Miller, who has been watching all of this intently and talking to his sources. First of all, give us some sense of exactly what Maduro is facing as far as the charges that the DOJ has brought against him, and what will happen in the next moments as they take him down from this plane.
Well, he's facing charges of narcotics and weapons trafficking, as is his wife facing similar charges, along with a number of other Venezuelan government officials who are listed in that 25-page indictment. But, you know, to get into the specifics of it, Sarah, it's quite an amazing set of allegations. He is charged with, along with his wife, of arranging meetings between the head of the Venezuelan DEA, their narcotics enforcement federal agency, and the head of a drug cartel, basically to make sure that he would have free passage for his drug shipments. He is charged with receiving payments of up to $100,000 per plane load that flew into and out of Venezuela from the Colombian drug cartels run by people like El Chapo, and then through Mexico for cocaine distribution into the United States, and dealing with the Mexican drug cartels. He is charged with allegedly providing drug traffickers with diplomatic passports so that they could pass through Venezuelan ports and other ports under diplomatic cover so that their bags and possessions could not and would not be searched. And then there are shocking charges beyond the simply outrageous charges that President Maduro and his wife arranged for the kidnapping, beating, torture of drug traffickers who either were behind in payments and bribe money or refused to pay because they were paying other people. So when you go through this 25-page indictment, what you see is, you know, the shocking allegations against a head of state and a head of state's spouse. Now, Maduro's wife, in her own right, Celia was a government official who held a number of posts over the years, including a congressional post, other influential jobs, where she allegedly had her own dealing with drug traffickers, and all of this amounts allegedly to hundreds, thousands of tons
conducted the mission, took into account
allegedly shipped
what happens
through
next to
Venezuela,
what were the
from
threats of
Colombia,
U.S.
stopping in
forces, law
Venezuela,
enforcement, and
and
military
then taking
conducting this
various routes,
operation.
whether it's through Mexico or by boat, you know, up to the United States. So it's quite an extensive case. What's most remarkable
that
about
was
it
directly
is
operating in our backyard.
President Maduro and his wife will be brought from this plane to a law enforcement facility in New York City, where they're going to be booked. And the process of booking someone, actually President Trump learned himself, for a major criminal or a minor criminal is the same. You know, they're going to come up shot, facing forward, then facing sideways. They're going to be fingerprinted. They're going to give various biometrics and, you know, fill out the forms. And then be taken to jail awaiting the arraignment, which will likely be on Monday. But what is not routine, even though they'll go through the same routine as any other fair prisoner, is how they were arrested. This is a process where the U.S. brings charges against individuals, let's say a major narcotics trafficker in a different country, where that goes then from the U.S. Attorney's Office to the Office of International Operations of the Department of Justice. Then they arrange for an extradition request from our country to that country where the person is, and it goes through the two justice systems. It can take a year, it can take more than a year. In this case, there was no extradition process in the diplomatic pathways of the State Department and the Justice Department. This is what federal agents and prosecutors call an extraordinary rendition. It is a rarely used term, but it basically means they have built the legal framework to conduct what is in the view of the U.S. a legal kidnapping. Snatch and grab, where they go into a foreign country, sometimes with the military, which was done in a number of terrorism cases, sometimes with law enforcement, in this case with both. And the extraordinary rendition is they go where they need to go, they get through who they need to get to, they do what they need to do in terms of use of force and other protocols, and they get that person and they bring them back to the United States to face justice and the legality and the niceties of how it was done, whether it was proper, can all be dealt with in court. But the main job is to get that here and to make sure that those layers of process are applied beforehand. And what we saw today, probably for the second or third time, was an operation that was every bit as complex as the operation to get President Noriega out of Panama for the assault on bin Laden's compound to neutralize him as a threat to the United States, something that requires a lot of planning, a lot of partnership, and the biggest challenge, maintaining total secrecy.
Absolutely, John Miller, as you walk us through this, we are now watching people leave the plane and just trying to see if one of these people leaving that plane, surrounded by federal agents, is the Venezuelan former President Nicolas Maduro. Right now, it looks like it is agents who have been going up and down those stairs. We know that the DEA is a huge part of this, and we've been seeing their jackets as well. While we are waiting to see the moment when Nicolas Maduro leaves that plane, heads towards the next phase of the system in place, the justice system in the United States in place. Let's just watch here for a second, because this is the most activity we have seen this evening of people going in and out of that plane that has flown the president, ostensibly his wife, who were snatched from their beds in the middle of the night after strikes on Venezuela by the United States. The president announcing that, also announcing that they did not go to Congress first, not even the game of 8 to let them know that this was about to happen. But indeed, it did happen, and we are seeing the results of it here. Very hard to see, as you might imagine. It is now dark on stretch in New York, where this is all taking place in New York. But we are watching as it looks as if they are a picture of a person there that maybe your assessment as someone who has this military experience about this operation. Was curious to see someone flanked by 22 people coming down the stairs. That may well be the former President Nicolas Maduro taking his first steps onto U.S. soil. But it appears to be what's happening, but we cannot guarantee it as this is the most activity we've seen leaving that plane after 15 minutes there, some maybe 20, 30 minutes that we've been watching this. But this is the largest group of folks that we've seen leaving that plane. A remarkable moment in history. I want to go now to CNN senior legal analyst Ellie Gomez.
Where's the infrared? There's no infrared, bitch.
Why he knows the system very, very well.
Oh, you have fucking infrared here.
Just give us a sense of the moments that we are seeing here and what will happen next as they take the drone from this aircraft ostensibly to another, correct?
Number two, in trying to accomplish
Yes, well, there's obviously vast political, international, diplomatic significance to what's happening here. There's also really important legal significance to this very moment we're witnessing, because there's an important concept.
Come on, CNN, Fox, whoever's running this camera.
What that means is
Oh, yeah, fresh. Good with Dan at OP Live. Let's go.
There's two ways prosecutors can get indicted. The first one is if they can show that some part of the conspiracy happened within that district. But the second way, and I think this is what we're seeing right here, is if the person is being brought in from a foreign country, the first place they touch down and touch American soil, there is automatic fingerprint. This is based in Newburgh, New York. That's within the Southern District of New York. It's about 90 or so miles, 70 to 90 miles north of New York City. And so when I was in the Southern District of New York, usually this very area all the time, if somebody who was wanted, somebody who was under indictment was captured in a foreign country and then brought in, we bring them to this airport because this is insurance venue in the Southern District of New York. You heard President Trump earlier today in his press conference say there would have to be a decision about whether this President Maduro would be tried in the federal court of Florida or he's already been indicted in New York, and this to me confirms that this case, this trial will be handled in the Southern District of Washington.
We are going to rewrite these pictures because as you were talking, we just saw President Maduro, the Venezuelan president. You could see that it was indeed him, looking like he was wearing the same exact outfit that we saw earlier, picture sent out by the administration. But it is remarkable moment where we're seeing him walking through the soil, flanked by more than a dozen federal agents. This is months ago. I know it is very
Plenty of controversy
eventually
in making this type of
we'll
operation.
lighten up just a bit, and we'll see most people
Administration's view is this person was a
clothing, but he
narco-terrorist.
is
He was
not. He is
not the
wearing something
president
that is lighter,
of
gray
Venezuela,
color,
which was a determination that other countries had made around the world. He's not a legitimate president.
similar to
And we
what
went
you
in and did
saw
a
in
law
the
enforcement
pictures
operation.
that were sent out
Full
by
stop.
the administration. You were seeing
There
him there
are,
flanked
though,
by
some,
so
I
many
think, more
agents,
measured responses from some
and
Democrats, and
very
even some Republicans who are
slowly as they
concerned
take
about
him
what
to
comes
the
next.
next position.
Those who are saying,
I think
hey,
we have Jim
Nicolas
Shiro,
Maduro had no
back
business
with
running this
us
country.
to give
Nicolas
us
Maduro should
some
be on
sense
trial and face a
of
jury.
just the bigger picture in all of this.
What
Because
are we
there are
doing
subtle
and how
little
much are we
pictures
committing here
and
and
questions
all the questions
that
that
people
countries should be
have
asking when they go
about
in,
what happens
whoever's
here
in
and
charge.
what this
We
is
told
going
Brian
to
Massenat, that the
mean,
chairman
not only to
of the committee,
Venezuela, where you have
indicated
seen
that there was
some
at least, or
folks
seemed
who
to be
are
at least,
gleeful,
that there were
happy
those
that
living
he
during
is
government
gone,
who
felt
were
that
running
they lived in hell
operations,
with his
making sure
administration.
things
But there
were
are others
as
that
seamless
still
as they
support
could
him
be,
there.
but now the onus
What
is
it
on
means
them
for the
to
United States.
transition.
Where President Trump has said the United States will not run Venezuela in the time. Jim, this seems to be a huge shift in U.S. policy.
Let's talk about the ripple effects, right? The multiple ripples emanating out from this. So the first one, the most obvious one, is in Venezuela. Who leads the country now? Who runs the country? How does the U.S. run it? The president is true to his word here. Does that involve military forces on the ground, a long-term political engagement with that country to set it on its way to election? The president seems to be referencing here. That's an enormous task. Then go out from there, because there is a direct connection between Venezuela and Cuba, because Cuba depends in large part on Venezuelan oil money to run itself. Is Cuba the next target? In what way? Just economic pressure or